65,000, you gave me the 65,000 for the county-funded model.
That's 455 transactions.
Yes.
And then that's $3.95 transaction fee. And then the customer funded is 700 with the 495. Is Aaliyah willing to help us if they, with the reimbursements for unused transactions? Is Aaliyah willing to?
Well, we hadn't gotten that far. We just understood that that's what the service that they were familiar with them, and there have been some of the services that they've offered on them, the driver services, to expand access to them. So the more service you have, then obviously you increase the usage for the reason that people come up there and use them. They can get more transactions done.
So let me
Which I said is a critical need because we have not been as diligent as we probably should have been on this East office. And so we got a large portion of the county, particularly in both Commissioner Singleton and your district as well. And I've gotten the emails and I've gotten the cards. I can bring them down about people who are saying I'm elderly and now I've got to go ahead and find a way out here to drive down to the South office, all because people, some members had, you weren't here when initially started this 5 years ago, but we have not gone and been as diligent as we should have been 5 years ago, 3 years ago, and even a year ago when we got this. And so now we've got people who don't have access to services at a continued time where they're dealing with inflation. Some people are seeing them being asked to do more with less. And
well, this service would ask them to pay more, right?
no, well, it's giving them the convenience. They're getting the convenience in not having to go to one of our offices where, because we don't have that East office, when you had Friday at 5, then you had 80 people show up at 4:30 that you can just go here and get it. You don't have the issue of having to take off from work if you work Monday through Friday to come to one of our offices. You can go in there Friday, Monday at 6:30, Monday at 8:30, Monday at 9:30, Saturday at 2:30, to go ahead and get what you need and get everything done and not necessarily have to worry about a line, having to worry about your mail getting stolen out of your mailbox, or you typed in the wrong address, or waiting 2 days, that as soon as you pay, you go out there and do it. So it's no different than using an ATM.
Let me just try to understand, if folks are watching at home or here in the audience, they may not understand all the nuance. So you correct me. I think we're trying to determine whether or not we're going to sign a contract that installs 5 or 6, maybe 6.
And I say the sixth one was what we're looking at for the West Montgomery.
Okay, that would be the 6th
Yeah.
one. So 6 kiosks, and the county is going to be responsible for 400 usages per month, no matter what.
Per kiosk.
Per kiosk. So 400 times $3.95 is $7,880
Per kiosk.
per kiosk. So times 6 means that the county has $47,280 on the hook every month. So $500,000 a year at risk, hoping that citizens choose the convenience of a kiosk, which, listen, and I will be frank, I love the idea of the convenience of a kiosk. I don't love the idea of a $500,000 risk that the county's taking. Now, you may say, oh, well, Commissioner Costanza, there's no way people aren't going to use them. There's no way it's going to be $500,000. I agree. I do think people are going to use them. I think it will increase as we go. But at the end of the day, the risk that the company is asking us to take is, well, it's all the risk. I don't know that the company has any risk at all. So again, just to make sure I understand, those 6 kiosks will be installed, 5 in Publix's, 1 at the West office, and Publix isn't open 24/7. The one at the West office would have access outdoors 24/7. Is that right?
Yes.
Hopefully. And then the only item that you can renew from the probate office is a car tag. Is that correct?
That's a more frequent common transaction, so yes.
For sure, the most common. Can you currently do that online?
Yeah, you can do that online.
Tell me how you feel confident that it's worth the investment. This is your world.
Well, this is my world, and this is what I do, and I've seen how the technology has worked. I've looked at them. I've talked to, you know, licensing officials over there in Georgia about them, and seen and researched. Like I said, this has been a 5-year project to try to go ahead and get to this point. And so, I was just talking to Melissa in the back. She lived in Georgia, and she was like, "Yeah, I love the kiosk." So people, it's something that people use. And, you know, and obviously, I think that one thing we've seen is that residents here in Montgomery County like access to new technology, and they trust my ability to use them in my judgment by electing me with 91%, and in a primary, and 98% with 65,000 votes. So I'm fairly confident that if it doesn't work, then I take the hit. You know, I'm the one that's going to be on the hook for it. You know, I said we had tried to do it with my office, but I know Connie looked at it and said that it had to be the county that had to go out there and sign. So we had looked at trying to do it ourselves. And so something that I stand behind and believe in, and that I've been pushing, you know, as well as with revenue for about 5 years. But I believe it's something that is going to work, because the thing that you find out with people these days is they like convenience. They like being able to have access to services at their fingertips. And so you putting it in a place where they're going to be anyway, with not having to make a special trip someplace, adds a different level of convenience. And we still have a large number of residents here that still don't trust, you know, doing things online, because, you know, not too long ago I signed up and paid for something at my son's school, and 2 days later I got an alert saying that they had been hacked and giving me a year of free credit monitoring. So there's still a large section of people who like the idea of taking their money, paying for their service, and walking out at that time with it.
Yeah, I don't doubt the convenience is incredible. I do think that if I'm the kiosk company, then I'm putting the Montgomery County on the hook for $500,000 a year, and it's even more than that. That's a minimum. That's just the 400 usages. So they're guaranteed 400 usages per 6 kiosks. Mm-hmm. But in the event that more people use them, which I hope that the citizens do, I hope this is a service that they take advantage of, then that company is now making between $500,000 and $1 million a year off the citizens of Alabama, out for the citizens of Montgomery County, and none of that money for that convenience is actually coming to Montgomery County. None of the risk for them to earn that money was assumed by the third party, by the kiosk company. That to me is the hard sell. It's a risk for Montgomery County. Now, if the company came in and said, look, we know we can make money in your county, and we know we can be a service. If they were truly going to be a partner with us, maybe, and I think it's worth an ask. And again, this is the first conversation I've had publicly about this. Hey, look, you want to come into our county and we want to share our revenue with you? I mean, that's what we're doing. We're sharing revenue. Is that we would share your revenue with you, be a partner to us. Give us 3 to 6 months with no minimums. Give us 3 to 6 months where we have the ability to see what the usage is. Now, we could commit to a marketing plan, we could commit to whatever it is, but I just can't imagine. I know we've spent 5 years getting to this point, but
well, we also, like I said, you all approved it back when we came here, passed it forward to the next agenda. So I don't appreciate being sandbagged with this today, that there was no discussion regarding these issues prior to today regarding these same issues. There's been multiple times, you weren't here, but the chairman was here to go ahead and discuss this. And so we even had a conversation with them last night.
This is my first, and I'm just one vote.
Oh.
And I'm not saying I'm against it. I feel like I have a fiduciary responsibility to
well, we talk fiduciary, and we
county.
can talk that here at the county.
That's what I feel like. I have a responsibility to the citizens. Is I say, hey, I'm going to be fiscally conservative. I want to make common sense, responsible decisions. I love the outcome of this. I love that we have the access to this service in those places. I don't love the risk that gets us to that point. So what I'm saying is there a way to blend the two, where we eliminate the risk and show that the usage is there or not? And the company who's going to make minimum $500,000 per year off of this for a 3-year contract, I would hope that they would want to do that. And to me, and I know that's not what you want to hear, JC, and
Is
we
there any
want to
way
support
you
you.
and I and the company could have a conversation this week?
We can go ahead and see, I guess we can try to see if we can arrange.
And then the other thing was, kind of you had said that the probate office believes in this, and they want to do this, and I'm not against doing it, but you had said that they could not do this on their own. We have that often where the county commission has to approve something, but could it be where the probate office, if they want to do this, we approve it for the probate office to do it, but the probate office would be the one that would be responsible for the...
What I said is the probate court is not a legal entity. They cannot enter into the contract.
But we've done that before with other entities, right?
Well, the county commission enters
Yeah,
into the
in
contract.
contract,
And
but
then you can arrange whatever kind of arrangement you
we
have.
do it all with the sheriff's
Right,
department all the
right.
time, yeah, so is that something that you'd be interested?
That's what I thought we were trying to do before we had to come to this route, to just go ahead and be able to assume the liability for it.
Well, the county commission assumes.
Well, I said, we're talking about just the overages that we'd go ahead, and that's why you all gave me the 65,000 for the overages last year in the budget.
Well, I
So
think
we
not
discussed,
just-
we
not just
discussed this.
overages,
We-
but
we just-
marketing.
Well, any
Marketing, yeah.
shortages that was why you all said, all right, we'll go ahead and give you 65,000 to defray some of those costs, because we know that you were going to be also having to market it as well. So it was kind of like, all right, when a sign of goodwill, since I know you've got to do this, we'll support you with this by giving you 65,000 to go ahead and use to defray any costs associated with it.
So if, we've already budgeted 65,000, would that be sufficient, and then the probate court be willing to make up the difference?
That's what our agreement was, that's what I thought was last budget
So our-
cycle.
Now our responsibility is only 65,000.
Yes,
So we're committing 65 per year
yes.
going forward. For the next 3 years, 65 every year. And then whatever transaction fee is not met,
Then
the
it falls
probate
on
court-
me.
You'll take it.
Yes.
Now, that's a difference. I'm good with that.
If
Yeah, and
we're-
that was our, agreement last year, and we discussed it during the budget cycle,
But I
and
was
why
under
we got the
impression- I was under
65,000.
impression we were gonna be responsible for the entire, and hopefully nobody is. Hopefully it works out.
Yeah.
I think it's a great idea. I love the idea, but I agree with Commissioner Costanza. If I had a private company, I would love to come to the commission and say, I wanna provide this service. I have no risk. I get all the reward. I mean, it's great for whoever this company is. I don't know who they are, but I would love as a private contractor to be able to work out a deal with the government where there's a guarantee, and I'm gonna make my money regardless if anybody uses it at all. So, can we get together this week? And Kendall, I'll move it to the next agenda, but I still got some questions that we wanna get straightened out between now and then. Is that fair enough?
All right.
Okay, yeah, 'cause we taking so much time, so thanks, JC. Isaiah, do you have any questions?
no.
You good? Dan, did you have any more questions before JC leaves us? Okay.
No, but I think Justin's comments made a lot of sense to me. And, it's one thing to say that the probate court's gonna be liable, but who funds the probate court?
What'd I miss?
He just basically said, I'm really smart.
I'm glad I missed that one.
All right.
And $567,360 minimum annually. That's the number.
Go back
567.
dispute that, no, when you look at it, our numbers were 400 times 395 was 1,580 per kiosk, 6 kiosks, $9,480, and the max, 113,000, so it's not 500,000. Just wanted to correct the record on the math.
So let's
But
do it.
we'll
Let's do
discuss
it.
at the
400
next meeting.
times 3.95.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I was my numbers in my head was the same as JC has.
Yeah,
Around 100.
that's,
130,000.
So
did
basically, 130. if we're doing-
4,000.
so it's not 500,000 as y'all were putting out,
Was
it's
it
113,000.
Let's correct it. 113. Doesn't change my sentiment at all.
So,
I use 4,000 instead of 400.
yes,
So 130,000 a year. So in a
113,000.
113,000. So over $300,000 in the contract period.
Yeah,
I don't want to do it for $50,000. I don't.
Well, I just wanted to correct, as you were saying, it was half a
I
million.
wa-
I just wanted to make sure we were just being accurate with the numbers that we
Well,
were putting out
it
there.
does make me feel, me
Yeah.
feel better that
Yes.
that number is incorrect.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, and none of those numbers were really in the information, so I'm glad to have it right.
And our commitment would be 65 per year for the next 3 years. And then judge of probate office would take care of the difference, if there's a difference. Yeah, so, okay, well, thanks, JC.
All right.
All right, Ken, we need to move on quick.
All right, item number 2, Circuit Judge Calvin Williams with consider memorandum of understanding between Administrative Office of Courts and the Montgomery County Commission for referee Maria Patterson.
Good morning. I'm just here to get the commission's or request the commission's approval of the MOU for the juvenile court referee, who's doing a great job, has done a great job over the last several years that we've held her, had her at the juvenile court. So we're requesting your continuing approval of the MOU between the Administrative Office of Courts in Montgomery County.
Any questions for Judge Williams? Dan, you got any questions for Judge Williams? That'd be next agenda.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Cal.
Item number 3, County Engineer George Speak. And number 4, consider Piney Branch Plantation, Plat, Old Barnes Road.
Yeah, it's just requesting approval of a plat on Old Barnes Road of 17 lots, and it meets our county subdivision regulations. They all front on Old Barnes Road.
Any questions for George?
Yeah. Are there any obligation on the part of the county to put in roads, maintain roads in this?
No, sir.
Thank you.
Old Barnes Road, is that off of Meriwether?
231, it's right at 231 Old Barnes.
Yeah, and, okay. It's close to, is it close to Meriwether?
Let me see, let me think here. It's gonna be north of Meriwether.
Okay.
Let me see, it's just south of Greenwood.
Okay.
Got Greenwood comes in, and it's north of Chapel Gray.
Yeah, okay.
It'd be on the left-hand side going south.
Pond level water story, okay. All right, that'd be next agenda.
Okay,
Item number 4, consider preliminary engineering and construction agreement for the Transportation Alternatives Program grant. George, I think we can take care of this one. So if you all recall, we, on last year, prior to budget, came to the commission for a grant application for sidewalk improvements to be done via the Transportation Alternatives Program to be performed at the Montgomery County Activity Center in South Montgomery County. This is the agreement between the state of Alabama, ALDOT, and the Montgomery County Commission for those improvements. And as you can see on page 1, it kind of lays out the amount. I think the total cost is $52,000 and some change for the 20% match.
Any questions for George on this one? Be next agenda.
okay,
Thank you, George.
Thanks, George.
Item number 5, consider amendment number 1 to contract with Sharp Cut Lawn Service to provide landscape and irrigation maintenance services to Elton Dean Park and landscape maintenance at Sheriff D.T. Marshall Firearms Training Center until January 6th of 2027.
James, they doing a good job? Good job, okay. Any questions? That'll be next agenda.
Item number 6, consider amendment number 2 to contract with Armstrong Relocation to provide moving and storage services until January 1, 2027. These are our movers. I think Mr. Allen is somewhere, but Mr. Allen's here, but they're doing a fantastic job with all the moving and shuffling we've been doing the last couple of months.
Lamar, you agree with that? All right, next agenda.
Item number 7, consider amendment number 2 to contract with Move and Store LLC doing business as Admiral Movers to extend the contract until January 1, 2027. These are the movers under contract with the Elections Department.
They doing a good job too, I guess?
I will assume so. I have not received any complaints.
Nobody here from elections, is it? All right, next agenda.
Item number 8, consider resolution authorizing the county's Thanksgiving holiday observance on Friday, November 28th, 2025. This goes in line with the governor's authorizing a holiday for what's affectionately called Black Friday. So we will, like we say, if the governor wants to do it, then we tend to follow suit.
Mr. Scipio said he wants to work on Friday. He's used to working on Friday.
If the governor says it's a holiday and y'all granted a holiday, I will not stop anybody from coming to Montgomery County. But I myself, for me and my house, we will be at home.
Next agenda.
Next agenda. And lastly on the agenda, consider employee recognition and appreciation program and related 2025 budget. I have emailed you prior to, we have terminated the contract with Chappies, and we're kind of looking to revamp our program. It's not to say we're going to issue an RFP, and it's not to say that Chappies cannot be in on that. We just want to kind of open the door to see what other entities may want to come in and provide that service as we look to continue to do this program for our employee appreciation every year.
What can we do? We do certificates and pins, and about half of the people show up for the pin ceremony. Can we kind of encourage our department heads to encourage the employees that are getting the 10, 20-year pins and all to come? I think it's important.
We have recognized that. We have had preliminary conversations. Myself, Regina, Tammy, Cody. Tammy and Cody do a great job of kind of doing a lot of logistics and coordinating. We kind of talked about throwing out some ideas of how we can enlighten the mood or just incentivize people to come more. So while we don't want to go ahead and speak out of turn now, we will have something in the next couple of weeks that we're going to kind of roll out to encourage people to come. We do want people to be there. We want people to be recognized. We want them to have their picture. And we're going to maybe add a couple of things that will maybe make people feel like they're going to be there. They want to be there. So we're working on it.
All right, yeah, I got a couple of ideas too. I'll share with you. So it's 11 to 1, and we're going to do the awards at about 11:30 or?
Yes, we typically get everybody in, start getting them fed, and then the program formally starts at 11:30.
30, okay.
Yes, sir.
So we could get the people that are receiving the recognition to be there at 11:30, 11:40.
Yes, sir.
That'd be great. Okay.
Lastly, our last person to speak, Founder Jared Williams with the Alabama Boys Foundation. And accompanying him to the microphone, to the stage, is Pastor Lee B. Walker Jr., one of my classmates from Leadership Montgomery, Class 41, the best class of all time.
He's a celebrity down here, isn't he?
Yes, he is. He's something else.
Amen. Amen. Good morning, commissioners. Let me tell you, we are extremely excited. Just want to say on behalf of the Alabama Boys Foundation, we say thank you. Thank you so much for the initial support in regards of our reading comprehension initiative. We wanted to stop by not only to say thank you, but just to provide just a quick update. We're in full launch mode in regards to our reading comprehension initiative. We have adopted and are sponsoring 20 students across the city of Montgomery to be a part of our initial pilot. So we're very excited. The participating schools are actually listed in your packet. And so we understand the challenges that our students are facing. So we wanted to step in and see what we can do to support these students. So therefore, this concept that we have rolled out provides a personalized growth plan for all of the students that are involved, with the objective of these students reading at or above grade level by the end of the academic school year. So in your package, you'll see the recommendation and the growth plan for each student, but we will be provided an update every 30 to 60 days in regards to how these students are progressing. So we wanted to come by and let you know that we're in full launch mode. We thank you so much. Some of you had the opportunity to give. Some of you, we just hadn't had the opportunity to connect with you as of yet. But nevertheless, we are excited. We're in full launch mode. In addition to that, we're funded through February of next year. But we're going to step out on faith. We know God's going to make the provisions in regards to March, April, and May. Amen. So we just want to let you know we're in full launch mode. We're excited. Want you to get excited about it. And if you have any questions regarding this, once you have an opportunity to peruse everything that is within that packet, please feel free to give us a call. But we continue to solicit your prayers. We continue to solicit your support in regards to this initiative. God bless each of you. Thank
So
you.
50 or 20?
It's 20,
That
yes.
says 50.
Well, that was initial plan 50, but we only were able to raise funding in regards to supporting 20.
$1,250 per student,
That is correct.
$1,285.
That's correct. And to actually, to sponsor the 20 per month is $4,800.
How do you find the students, or identify which students?
Well, we actually partner with NPS in regards to that, along with the administrators of each school, to help us identify those students that should be a part of this initial pilot. Yes, sir.
And that's the schools they picked out.
That's correct. To begin with, and like I said, the whole idea, if we can show proof of concept, proof of success, then we can expand this to be something very, very special and something more permanent for our students, where we can expand it and reach more students.
Who has flowers? Is that yours?
Yep.
That's yours? I know Brewbaker's Dan, South Lawn's Carmen's, Patrick's Carmen's, T.S. Morris, is that yours, Isaiah?
Yes.
T.S. Morris, yeah. And then Life Academy, is that yours or Carmen's?
That's,
Farmers?
life is, yeah, that's so good. That was St. Jude's
St.
side, I
Jude,
believe.
yeah.
Yeah, that's me.
That's you too? And then where's Bethany Christian Academy?
That's on Highland.
Yeah,
Highland.
Yes,
Highland Avenue?
that's correct.
Is that yours?
that is mine.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah. Good.
And we're looking to expand this to include other students, other schools. So the more funding we're able to raise, then we'll be able to expand this initiative. Yes, sir.
Very important.
Yes,
meeting,
it is.
No doubt.
It is.
Well, thank y'all.
Thank you so much for the time.
All right, it's 9:53. Does anybody have anything else? Dan, you got anything you want to say?
No, I'm good.
Yeah. We'll take, you need something, Kendall? We'll take about a 6-minute break, and we'll be back at 10 o'clock sharp.